In your opinion, what is the top 6 best WWE main roster pay-per-views from 2023? That is what this video is about. I'm going to tell y'all what I think was the top 6 best WWE pay-per-views of this year. Well, main roster pay-per-views. I ain't going to be counting the NXT ones, even though NXT has some great pay-per-views, but for this video, I'm just talking about the main roster. So yeah, that's what this video is about. But before we get into that, I want y'all to make sure y'all hit the like button and also hit the subscribe button to join the family, man. And with all that being said, let's get right into the video.
I wanna cripple the late, I wanna big in me face.
So I'm gonna go from number 6 to number 1. So number 6, starting out the video, is the Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble was a pretty good pay-per-view. It is not the best, but it was still a very good pay-per-view. We had the women's Royal Rumble with Rhea Ripley winning that match, which I loved. Then you also had the men's Royal Rumble match. That match right there, you had Gunther going crazy in that match. You had Cody Rhodes make his return and then winning the Royal Rumble, which was also good. And then you had Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens with Sami Zayn turning on Roman Reigns and basically stepping away from the bloodline. Like, that right there was one of the craziest moments. And yeah, man, the whole entire Royal Rumble pay-per-view as a whole was pretty good. So yeah, to me, Royal Rumble is top 6 WWE pay-per-view of this year. Now, number 5, I'm going to say is Survivor Series. Survivor Series was a very good pay-per-view. You had the Women's Survivor Series match, which was better than the men's one for the second year in a row. But don't get it twisted. The men's Survivor Series match, the War Games match, still was a good match. They went in there, they did their thing. And then you had Randy Orton make his return in that match, which was amazing to see. And then at the end of that, after the matches was over, you had CM Punk make his return. You got Randy Orton and CM Punk making their return in the same night. How can that not be one of the top pay-per-views of the year? Easily, in my opinion, in the top 6 WWE pay-per-views of this year. Now, number 4, to me, is Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank really was amazing. I'm not going to sit here and lie to y'all. Money in the Bank was amazing. I understand a lot of people wanted LA Knight to win the Money in the Bank briefcase, which I understand. But Damian Priest winning, now that I'm thinking back on it, it was a pretty good decision and I liked it. I ain't like it at the time, I'm not going to lie. I ain't really like it at the time. But now, looking back on it, I like it. And you had Io Sky. She won the women's Money in the Bank. That was cool. You also had Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins, which was a pretty good match. You had Riddle versus Gunther for the IC title, and Drew McIntyre made his return after that match, which was amazing. And you also had John Cena make a return. And then you had Bloodline Civil War also on that card. Like, so much stuff happened at Money in the Bank. Also, that was a pay-per-view where Shayna Baszler turned on Ronda Rousey. A lot of stuff just happened in that pay-per-view. And to me, that pay-per-view is really in the top 6 WWE pay-per-views of this year. Now, number 3 is going to be Elimination Chamber. Elimination Chamber really was a good pay-per-view. I really enjoyed this one. I'm not going to sit here and lie to y'all. Truly was a great pay-per-view. You had the mixed tag match with Edge and Beth versus Rhea and Finn. Solid match. You had Bobby and Brock. That match really wasn't the best, but they had other matches on the card that made up for that match not being as good. You had the 2 Elimination Chamber matches. Both were amazing. The women's Elimination Chamber match was fire. And then you had the men's Money. Why do I say Money in the Bank? I do not know. But I meant to say the men's Elimination Chamber match. You had the men's Elimination Chamber match, and that match was just fire. They was going crazy. Montez Ford. You had Bronson Reed in there. Seth Rollins. You had Johnny Gargano. You had Theory. It was just so many different people in there. They all was doing their thing, and they just made that match just fire. And then you had the main event with Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns in Sami Zayn hometown. That was just such a good pay-per-view, and to me, it's up there in the top 6 for sure, man. That pay-per-view was fire. Now, number 2, Backlash. Backlash was a fire pay-per-view as well. This was in Puerto Rico, man. They was in Puerto Rico, and the crowd was just on fire. Even before Backlash, that Friday before Backlash, they was going crazy. And then you got to Backlash, and they was going crazy too, man. That pay-per-view was pretty good. You had the 6-man tag match with the Bloodline going against Sammy, Kevin Owens, and I think Riddle. That match was pretty good. You also had Io Sky versus Bianca Belair, an amazing match. You also had Brock versus Cody, which was pretty cool. And then you had the Bad Bunny and Damian Priest match. Bad Bunny coming out to a song that had the place going insane. Then he went in there and had an amazing match against Damian Priest. Just was a solid match, and overall was a solid pay-per-view. Really was a good pay-per-view, honestly. So yeah, that's number 2 for the WWE pay-per-views of 2023. Now number 1, WrestleMania. Come on. WrestleMania was just so good. I don't know how anybody else could say like, yo, WrestleMania 39 is not pay-per-view of the year. Like, what? Come on. That pay-per-view had Cody versus Roman Reigns. You had Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus the Usos. Rhea versus Charlotte. You had Dom versus Rey Mysterio. You had that tag match, the women's and men tag matches. You had just so many matches that were great, and I really enjoyed that pay-per-view. Night 1 was amazing. Night 2 was pretty good, even though it was some decisions I didn't agree with, but still was a solid night. Overall, both nights were just good. The pay-per-view as a whole, WrestleMania 39 as a whole, was just a pretty good pay-per-view, amazing pay-per-view, and to me is the best pay-per-view of 2023. Y'all let me know which I think was the top 6 WWE pay-per-views of this year. Also, leave any comments of any video suggestions y'all want to see next. While you scrolling down to the comments, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button to join the family. Click the description to check out my Discord, to check out my Instagram and my TikTok. All that is in the description. And yeah, I really hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I'm gonna see y'all next one. Y'all take it easy, man. Peace.